Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Rush on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. It is Monday. It is 6 p.m. So it means one thing. It is time for the world famous Academy Show. It is indeed your weekly dose of Academy news. If anyone new to the channel, what we do is every Monday, 6 p.m, we do a show just for the Academy, just dedicated to the under 18s and 21s and anything around the 16s and 17s and vice versa, anything that happens there as well. But the idea being is just dedicated to the Academy, the only YouTube channel out there, West Ham channel, to do that. So don't forget to give it a like, comment, share, and don't forget to hype. Let's hype the Academy, because actually the Academy is in a great place at the moment. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, first, we talk about any contract news. There's been no new contract news, so to speak. We will talk about, we spoke about Ederson signing a new deal like last week, so we don't want to go over old ground. But we're going to be talking about Ederson in a bit more detail in a bit. We talk about all the players, all the Academy players out on loan, how they've got on over the weekend. We've covered the first team players like Kalen and Edson in Hammer's Headlines. Go and check that out. Also, let me just, I injured myself putting my Christmas decorations up. So I've doing my, I know Halloween has been and gone, and I'm doing my famous Mikhail Gorbachev impression, but yeah, just in case anyone asks. And then we profiling the games that have happened over the last couple of weeks, last week rather, in terms of the Academy. And what we're doing today afterwards at the end is going to be doing a player profile on 𝗟𝗢𝗧𝗀 𝗨𝟑𝟏, who made his first team match day squad debut on Saturday, being on the bench for the Burnley game. So we can talk about that in a bit more detail, about who he is, what he brings to the table, all that type of stuff. Right, let's get start. Who should we start with? Let's start with loans. Let's do loans. Lewis Orford, who was in attendance on Friday for the under 21s 3-0 victory against Liverpool rather. He was a 74th minute substitute for Stevenage at the weekend, as they drew 1-1 away to Reading on Saturday, which was great for him to finally get some decent minutes again. It's taken a while for him to start to get stuff going, but he had a good cut run. And the Virtue, was it a Virtue Trophy? Yeah, I think he played there for Stevenage and got like a couple of goals and assists, or a couple of assists in the goal. So he's starting to get minutes there finally. Michael Forbes didn't play for Northampton Town. Gobblers, no, it's true. He didn't play for Kevin Nolan's side. He's sustained an injury, which will keep him out for a couple of weeks, prevented him playing in Northampton Town's 2-1 home win against Mansfield Town. And due to injury, he'll be withdrawn from the Northern Ireland under-21s squad we were playing over the next week or so, which is unfortunate because he was captain and scored, I think, last time as well. Gideon Kadoa, he was a 72nd minute substitute for Luton Town as they won 3-0 away to Stockport County. Junior Robinson was an unused matchday sub as Livingston drew 1-1 away to Falkirk in the Scottish Premier League. Regan Clayton, he played the first 87 minutes for Braintree as they lost 1-0 away to Wheatston in the National League. Obviously, we've mentioned before, but Mason Terry has sustained a hand injury, so he was out for a couple of weeks, so he didn't play. And we know that obviously that Finn has returned back from his loan spell at Boreham Wood to join the first team squad at West Ham. Let's talk under 18s. They made it 4 wins in a row, a cracking game for them against Crystal Palace at the weekend. Coming from behind twice before snatching all 3 points in the 96th minute with a last-minute winner from Andre Dyke, alongside goals from captain Callum Leacock and Chukwuobi in a 5-goal thriller against league leaders Crystal Palace. Tough task for the young Hammers as Palace sit top of the table in the under-18s Premier League South with 18 points from 9 games before kickoff. But despite the visitors' form, West Ham came into the game full of confidence after 3 consecutive wins, and now have made it 4 consecutive wins. And their momentum started from the start. And as I said, it was back and forth. And then in the 96th minute, top scorer Andre Dyke once again stepped up as the hero for his 8th goal of the season, picking up the ball from the left, weaved through challenges and powered into the box before firing home to seal a 3-2 victory with the final kick of the game. And then all the players ran into a corner, well-deserved victory altogether. And a real statement result against the league leaders, really. Next up, they return to Playford Road to face Ipswich after beating them 8-2 in their previous counter. This time they face each other in the Premier League Cup. So we hope that Laurie Coggin's side make a perfect start in the defence of the competition title. We just need a single point in the last group game to reach the knockout stages. So we would assume that's going to happen, having beaten the same side away from home 8-2. Let's look at under-21s. They extended an undefeated run in the Premier League to 7 matches with a dominant display on Friday, seeing off Liverpool at Rush Green Stadium. To be honest, as I said in my sort of post-match analysis, it was the most one-sided under-21 game I think I've seen for a long time. It was a performance full of control, full of confidence, and they didn't allow Liverpool a moment's comfort. The match was delayed due to Liverpool not being stuck in traffic, so delayed by about 20 minutes. And obviously we did the minute silence and stuff like that, but they cruised to a 3-0 victory. It could have been 6. It should have been at least 4 or 5. George Earthy, one-on-one, failed to put the ball in. And a couple of other sort of shots we probably should have done better. But goals from Callum Marshall, Josh Ajala, and Mohamedou Kante. The highlights are on the YouTube channel, so go and check them out. It was brilliant from the first whistle. They set the tempo. You know, Marshall tested the goalkeeper early on with a header. Preston started dictating sort of play in midfield, spraying passes along. Kante was being his physical self and domineering the ball in the middle. And, you know, I mean, Callum's goal was very much a Callum Marshall goal in that it was, you know, he is ferocious. He is tenacious in terms of high press. And because of the high press, he basically tackled the goalkeeper who was playing on the foot and went in. You know, it's just that was what Callum does. You know, he's really really dogged. He's a terrier of a player. He is. And then Josh Ajala scored a great goal from outside the box. Another good goal, sort of cut inside, great move as well. And actually, Kante's goal was probably a really nice team goal. I know Kante got the plaudits for the goal itself, but it was back to front all the way. You know, good passing, nice and crisp, and a great finish from Kante on his wrong foot as well. So yeah, fantastic. That makes it 7 unbeaten for the under-21s and just 1 defeat in 11 across all competitions, as we continue to press and grow with every performance. Now, what is interesting is we'll be starting, I think it's in a couple of weeks' time, the Premier League Invitational Cup. That will be played at Dagenham Redbridge's ground. We play the likes of Anderlecht, Sporting Lisbon, Borussia Dortmund, and I think we start off against Atletico Bilbao. So if you can get to those games and see some European football from West Ham, get along to them. They'd be good. They'd be good shouts. Right. As promised, we want to do a little profile on 𝗟𝗢𝗀 Golombekis, the under-21 captain. He made his first team. He made the match day squad for the first time ever. The first team match day squad, being named on the bench against Burnley on Saturday. So as always, we want to we do the similar thing with Ezra Mayes, sort of facts and figures. But I thought what we'd do is do something a bit more of a player profile in terms of who 𝗟𝗢𝗀 is. So I'm going to move my poppy across so I can bring this up. So in terms of who he is, he only just celebrated his 18th birthday last week. So hell of a week for him, really. He has dual nationality, but he now represents England under 19s now. Centre half, but also can play. Is comfortable midfield if required. He's currently England, West Ham under 20s and England 18s, and I believe he's been caught to 19s as well this year. He signed his first pro deal in November 2024. He's a local lad raised in East London. He featured in the Guardian's Next Gen 2024 list as West Ham's top youth talent, and he's been lauded by staff for his maturity, versatility, and leadership potential, and also lauded by DJ Russie B, who from about 18 months ago, I saw this guy and I thought this guy is a bit special. And as I've said, I've alluded him to a young Rio Ferdinand in terms of the way he plays. Very controlled in the ball, always has time, never looks panicked, and yeah, very, very mature for a very young age. And also, the fact is he is captaining the under-21 side at, well, it was 17, just turned 18. The last person to do that was Declan Rice. Hashtag just saying. Let's look at his academy journey lifetime. So he joined West Ham in 2013 as age 6, for the under-8s. He's featured in the 15s and 16s while still under 14. In the 2022-23 season, he was a regular starter for the under-18s at just 15. Played his full first 90 minutes in the PL2 in 23-24 season. Signed his first deal on his 17th birthday. Debuted for England under-18s, having changed allegiance from playing for Lithuanian under-16s. And he changed allegiance to England in the last season. Scored his first international goal versus Ukraine recently. And then this year, he's been made under-21 captain, but also signed a contract extension, which keeps him at the club for another 5+1 years. Is it 3+? I can't remember. He's gone for a long time. And made the first team bench for the first time ever in his West Ham career. In terms of, I've just done that. I've just done the academy. I've done it twice. That's silly me. Well, why did I do it twice? Anyway, because I want to do his strengths. That's what I'm going to do, his strengths. So what does he bring to the table? Let's go full screen. What does 𝗟𝗑 bring to the table? There's calm and composed. He will collect the ball in very tight situations, rarely feels rushed, even against high pressers. He's, the kids call him a baller, and he is. He's excellent passing range and technique, builds up play from deep loves a diag, and also likes a quick vertical pass for the lines, but not afraid to drop his shoulder and take it on, which is quite nice. Reads the game well. He anticipates danger very early and positions himself to intercept rather than react. He doesn't seem like a very quick player, but he is deceptively quick. But also because he's reading the game well, he doesn't need to be quick, as lightning quick. Can operate as a centre back or potentially step into midfield as a deep line, playmaker. Rare flexibility as youth team level. Is it trusted with not only being captain, but he was making full 90 appearance minutes at just 16. He communicates well and organises the back line. He's one of those. You can hear him quite a lot organising the defence, and for someone so young to have that leadership quality, again, I don't like saying it, but that's what stood out for me when I first saw Declan Rice play at 18 in the under-18s. He had that level of leadership, which is a very rare quality, and that's what stood him out. 𝗟𝗑 is a better football player at that age than Dec was then, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Anyway, back to it. Let's go back full screen. There we go. In terms of international experience, already capped for England under 18s and scored, so it's adaptability and maturity on the international stage. And, progressed through every academy level since the age of 6. And as we mentioned again, was featured in the Guardian's Next Gen 2014 list, a marker of potential, of exciting potential. The likes of Caden Casey's been in that. The likes of Lewis Orford's been in that group as well. So very much is a very sought after position on that list. Let's look at his stats. And how he compares to seniors. So he's right-footed. He has a pass completion rate which is on par with the likes of Kilman and 𝗏𝗏. He has double progressive passes. Obviously, this is his under 21 stats, but still twice as many progressive passes per 90 compared to the others. Aerial battles very similar, if not better than the likes of Kilman, but again under 21s. Tackles and interceptions 4.2. Hasn't made any errors leading to shots. Dribble past less than 0.4, which is pretty much on par with all the others. Slightly better, twice as better than 𝗏𝗏. So yeah, I think for me it was it's very much, he wouldn't be out of place, and if anything he would show a bit more difference going forward. In terms of from the back, and you imagine someone like Nuno would like that type of thing in a player in terms of being able to bring forward the ball in a lot better positions. Let's look at what he offers. What does he offer? In terms of ball progression from deep, 360 minutes in Premier League. So to date, with a high pass completion rate, multiple line breaking passes per match, calm distribution. And that will be a key trait, hopefully, in Nuno's sort of transitional setups as well. Back three compatibility. He's played full matches, across all the games and all clean sheets. where, in 3 games particularly, Norwich, Stoke and Reading, his position and recovery pace makes him ideal as a wide centre back in a 3-4-3, which is he tends to play on the right hand side or in the centre of a back three, covering sort of wing back overlaps and stepping into midfield if need be. 0 errors leading to goals so far this season. Maintains sort of composure under pressure, allowing West Ham to bypass aggressive presses without resorting to long balls. We said about his midfield flexibilities, comfortable possessions, and spatial awareness. Which are traits which would allow him into a deep line midfield if needed. For the under 18s last year, and when he sort of transitioning from the 18s to 21s, he did have a hybrid role, sort of in terms of centre back and defensive midfielder as well. So again, flexibility. In terms of youthful energy and tactical discipline, he's been trusted with, as I said, full 90 minutes for, you can see throughout his West Ham career, he's his academy career, he's always played at a high level to his age group, which shows to me a reliance on him. He's someone they can depend upon as well in terms of being able to play at a higher age group than what he's should be physically capable of. So again, it's something which I really rate in a player. Set piece utility, strong aerial presence, contributing to a defensive solidity in set piece situations. Hasn't scored this season. He hasn't scored a couple last season. He's been frequently involved in attacking corners and free kick routines, but he's one of those players who does, pick out a goal occasionally. Why did I press VAR? I didn't mean to do that. VAR, check on that statement, please, Ralph. And 7, leadership potential. When he captains youth side and communicates well, a future defensive leader in the making. And as we said, the last player to be his age playing regularly captain the under-21s was Declan Rice. Right. Let's go like Donkey Kong and whack in. Oh, I've done that one. Look at how he could break into the first team. There's a 78% chance, this is according to Statman Ben, in terms of breaking into the first team. And the reason why he's put his factors in, under 21 appearances at 16 to 17s, that's a high weighting. Played full 90 minutes, which is rare for his age. And obviously now he's very much part of the 21 squad. International recognition. We've got their England under 18 caps and goal for Ukrainian under 19s. Technical profile, high ball playing midfielder with flexible midfield flexibility, fits the modern tactical needs. Academy pedigree, medium one for that in terms of weighting. Joined at the age of just 6. Big West Ham fan as well, and his family. Competition in senior squad, medium. He's got sort of 𝗀 𝗪𝗀. He's got Dinos, Igor in front of him. Could prevent a breakthrough just yet. And obviously Ezra Mayers as well. Both of them almost like bottlenecking, I think, in terms of who that next one is. But injuries and stuff, anything can happen. In terms of injuries and discipline, no known injuries or any bookings this season, which shows maturity. Despite being a defender, he hasn't picked up a booking this season so far, which is really good. And in terms of managerial philosophy, he's put a variable on this, but depending on Nuno's willingness to blood youth in key fixtures. However, he has all the attributes to work within a Nuno setup, basically. So there we go. A little bit more information for you. You're more than welcome. If you're new and you never get to like, comment, share, don't forget to give it hype. Can we really hype this Academy show and just get it out there? Because it's a massive part of what West Ham's all about. So, yeah, if we can hype, let's hype to the heart's content. And until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you irons.